Real quick today, we're going to cover the proper formatting of introducing and giving your quotes. Okay, so we've got two different quotes here, both from the same book, same page, same author, and all the information we need. We have the quote itself, we have who wrote it, we have that page number, and we've got the title. Now all we have to do is make sure that we get everything done in the right order and don't miss any formatting. Okay. So I'm going to treat it as though I'm going to fix this one and treat it as though it's the first time that we've used this author and this source. So I have to fully introduce it. Then I'll quickly fix this one as though it comes later in the same paper, which means we're really not going to have to do anything at all other than give the credit quickly. We'll show you what I mean by that. So can't just drop a quote right in the beginning of a sentence like this, no matter what. You have to give context. What I would do here, since the quote says, "I'm absolutely convinced that no wealth in the world can help humanity forward, even in the hands of the most devoted worker in this cause," we have to make sure that this idea is prepped for the reader. And since it's the first time we're quoting him, we will have to give us a little bit of an introduction. The world as I see it. Okay. Now the reason I put that in italics is because it's a full-on book title. If we were quoting just a chapter or something smaller, it would get quotes, or an article, for instance, but books get this entire thing. The one other thing I would say we usually include is some sort of descriptive word before the author's name. You can't just assume everyone knows who we're talking about. So give some context. Who are they? Give their name. Tell us where they wrote it. And then explain what's about to happen. He extends his opinion on wealth when he writes. Now this stuff is all really important. We're telling them what it's about to be about and how he conveys it, okay? One big common mistake that a lot of young students make is we'll say something like "he says," but it's a book quote. Books don't talk. He wrote this down. We can give us a comma and a space, and now this is all formatted correctly. The paragraph goes through. We've already used his name, so we can get rid of that extra thing. We've already used the book title. We're good. Now all we need to do is figure out how to properly put the page number in here. We'll get rid of that comma inside here because the sentence isn't over until we put credit right here. Now what most students do out of habit is put page 21 here. When I tell them that doesn't work, they'll go page 21 or P21. All we need is the author's last name and the numbers. So since this is already there, we don't need it, okay? We just have the page numbers in parentheses. So the quote will end with a quotation mark, a space, open parentheses, number, close parentheses, period. The only way we would change this is if we did something like let's just do this real quick. This is a less effective version of introducing your quote, but then we can put this right here, okay? Or let's just, for argument's sake, undo both of those, and I'll explain that better in this example. And we're going to pretend that this is actually on page 22. It's not. We have to be accurate when we quote, but I'm just going to show you what I mean. That'll make more sense in a minute. That's perfectly done. If you can follow this format every time, you'll be fine. Going on to the next one, let's get it in the same exact way, okay? He continues to make his point by arguing, okay? So again, we're making sure that whatever we say he's doing is accurate. We wouldn't say by questioning because he's not about to ask a question. We wouldn't say by saying because this isn't an interview he was in and it's not a character speaking, so no one's saying anything. He's writing, but if you get sick of using the same writes, writing, you can change it by saying like what the writing is doing. So he's arguing, okay? Give us our quotation marks again. You guys should know we're not going to keep that period inside anymore. We're going to push it out, and we need these numbers, okay? Now, remember, every quote needs all of this information, right? But if this is in the same paper, or even better, the same paragraph, we've already introduced which author we're talking about, and as long as we haven't switched authors between these 2 points, it's implied that we're still talking about Einstein, okay? So all we need now, and probably this book as well, so all we need is the page number. Like I said, it is on page 21, and the reason I changed it to 22 is so here we can just double down on our argument and say Einstein 22. Remind them this is where we're getting the source. If it were on 21, and you don't have a bunch of filler between these two arguments, instead of even putting this here, you could get rid of that and have it here, and that implies that both quotes that you're using are from the same exact spot. Okay, so to wrap up here, these are both accurate right now, with the full credit given both times, either before or after in the parentheses. If you need more information before we go into this in more depth, every single time you submit something, you can always Google Purdue OWL MLA, okay? If we do that, these are the results. We're going to come to this page. This is the style guide for the entirety of all MLA words and rules. It's not 100% complete. The only way to do that would be to buy the published edition of the updates every single year. I don't recommend ever doing that. Purdue OWL is close enough and very accurate, and it's free. So just come here. This will show you how to set up your paper, all other kinds of things, anything you can need. If you're looking for how to quote periodicals, there you go. If you're looking for a works cited page, there you go. But we're looking for in-text citations. That's just another way of saying quotes. And if you follow the rules that it gives you here, you will be A-OK. This is one of the best sources you can use, is Purdue OWL, Online Writing Lab. To be continued.